You may be shocked and outraged to know that while desperately trying to protect my daughter, money, wealth, and influence over certain corrupt and unethical judges right here in this courthouse caused me to be unlawfully arrested by the FBI, unlawfully imprisoned several times, unlawfully indicted and prosecuted by the state of Texas to be found not guilty. Yes, it's true. I'm the only woman in the United States that has been acquitted twice for leaving the state with their child to protect my innocent daughter. If this is not enough to make your blood boil, there is much more.
When these horrible issues, which you'll hear about some of them, happened to my child, and I had a very difficult time getting her protected, I realized this wasn't an isolated situation. A problem with my situation, many officials didn't want to believe me because it was such a bizarre story. And if it weren't myself that it happened to, and if I didn't know it to be true, I understand these stories are hard to believe. But I have known Charles Campbell for years. I have found that he's a man of integrity, character, and really the type of person that America was founded on. Let me introduce to you Charles Campbell.
I'm sure most of you are rather shocked to hear the words integrity and lawyer in the same sentence, and quite frankly, I don't blame you. I want to tell you that everything I'm going to talk about this morning is documented. This is not made up. I'm not just creating this. These aren't my opinions. There's documented evidence for everything I'm going to tell you. This presentation is about mistakes that can occur in court cases involving issues of custody and alleged child abuse. These cases involve many different people. You have judges, lawyers, expert witnesses, social workers, regulatory officials, and law enforcement personnel. And when you have that many people involved, the potential for mistakes exist. The subject is important because most of the ultimate decisions affecting children, namely custody, child support, visitation, and termination of parental rights, are controlled by and made by the courts. Now, I could stand up here and tell you, well, based on my experience, this can happen and that can happen, but most of you would probably look at me like I was completely insane. You simply would not believe me. And just like Patricia said, if I hadn't seen many of these things myself, I wouldn't believe it either. Just about anything that could go wrong did go wrong in Patricia's case, and that makes it a good example. What makes it an even better example is, as I said earlier, almost everything is documented. And it's a good thing that that documentation exists, because almost everyone to whom Patricia has spoken to about this case doesn't believe her at first. They can't believe that judges would behave this way, or that the law would be so abused and ignored. I, however, knew better. I had previously represented a mother in a case that was remarkably similar to Patricia's. In that case, a loving mother tried to protect her children, and instead, she was abused by the judicial system and had her parental rights terminated. I represented her on appeal, and almost 3 years after the trial was over, we managed to get the termination decree overturned. That was 4 years ago. And to this day, she still has not seen her children. So when Patricia first told me her story, I knew that what she was telling me could be true. And then I saw the documents, and they confirmed almost everything she told me. Now for this presentation, and you'll see this in the written materials, I have selected the documents that I feel to be most pertinent and that best tell the overall story. We're also going to be showing 4 videotape segments during this presentation, which will really give you a better idea of what happened in this case. 2 of those videos depict hearings that took place in this case, and the testimony you will hear and see on the videos was taken directly from the transcripts of those hearings. The first video segment will give you a good basic overview of the case, but before we show you that, there are some other things I must tell you. One of the points I want to make is that these allegations were never proved or disproved because of abuses and mistakes in the courts and some regulatory agencies. I also want to show you that mistakes and abuses can and do occur, and that often their effects are severe.